Calling all thugs, grunts, leaders, and admins. Hello, this is Admin Shade here with Rocket HQ. Today I have an OU battle against Scott. This battle was actually from our very first stream that we had just the other day. Just to talk about that for a second, we had an amazing time. Everyone came out and said how much they loved what we were doing. Actually, we love what you guys are doing, so please, I know you like our content, but we love your content as well. So if you have battles, music, poetry, whatever it is, please send it to us. We'll have links in the description telling you how to do that. We want to advertise you to our community because we are all in this together. We all want to do awesome, fun stuff. So let me just talk about these teams really quick, and then we will jump into the battle. Scott's team is actually pretty scary, to tell you the truth. I am afraid of that Azumarill. I'm also afraid of that Mandibuzz. It always gives me problems. The Dragonite's also a big threat just because of the multi-scale, and then the Thundurus as well. My team, the biggest threats I have is probably that Mega Mawile. The Latios is actually pretty powerful in certain circumstances, and I actually have Assault Vest Scrafty, which actually proves pretty useful in this battle. So let me just jump in and we will start doing this commentary. Just to talk a little bit about the stream a little bit more, we're going to try to start streaming every day at around 1 o'clock. So please come in and check us out on Twitch. The link will be in the description. So I lead off with my Ambipom just because I want to get off a fake out on whatever it is he sends out. He actually ends up sending out this Aerodactyl. It actually ends up being Mega Aerodactyl, which is even more terrifying. But either way, it doesn't really matter. I go for the fake out and do a decent amount of damage. Fake out does a decent amount just because it's Life Orb, Ambipom with Technician. So it does a clean little bit of health, which I'm fine with. And I just get Ambipom out of there because I don't believe I can outspeed. Definitely can't outspeed. And actually send in my Melodic because it can just take whatever it is, Earthquake, Stone Edges. He actually does go for the Stone Edge here. And it does a decent amount of damage, but nothing I can't handle, especially with Melodic. I have Recover. I'm not too worried. I actually decide to scout a little bit here just to see what his moveset's about. Actually goes for the Thunder Fang, which could have been problematic later. I'm glad I did that. I live with just a little bit of health and then go for the Recover to get a lot of my health back. So, yeah, that's a really interesting move. I am afraid of that Thunder Fang. We just need to get this Aerodactyl out of here as soon as possible. Actually tries to go for the Stone Edge again, and it misses, which is unfortunate for him. But actually, I just go for the Scald and hit him pretty hard, and I actually get lucky enough to get the burn. So that's a lot of good luck on my part and a lot of bad luck on his part. But truthfully, even if he did hit me with that Stone Edge, I couldn't see it doing like that much damage. But here you can see the burn ends up killing this Aerodactyl. So that is a dead Aerodactyl, thankfully. So that is out of the way. Next, he sends in Stormy, which is his Thundurus, and I'm kind of afraid to try to take that with Melodic because I don't know what he's going to hit. Most likely a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch. So I actually go ahead and switch out to Corvo, which is my Dusclops, and it does hit me with a Volt Switch, and actually doesn't do that much damage at all, which is because my Dusclops is specially invested. So yeah, that is, I'm sitting kind of pretty right now. I've been making the right moves, all the right switches, and Scott's actually been doing a great job as well. So here, like I just said, Scott does a great job in sending out this Mandibuzz, and I'm afraid of the knockoff or whatever it is he has. So I just go ahead and take this opportunity and switch in my Mawile, because I feel like I could hopefully set up against this thing because it couldn't do too much to hurt me. It actually goes here for a foul play and does actually more than I thought it would, to tell you the truth. But I guess it does more and more depending on how much my attack is, so I didn't really take that into consideration. So I just kept being a fool and just kept boosting here, as you'll see. Scott actually goes for a couple Iron Defenses, which I actually don't see that often from Mandibuzz, which is pretty impressive. I go for a sub so I can try to set up more comfortably. He goes for another Iron Defense, so right now we're both just greedy. We're both just setting up all over each other, just trying to get the advantage in the battle. So I go for a Swords Dance here, and my attack raises. And where I really mess up here, he goes for the foul play, and I'm just too greedy. I go, after my substitute fades here, I go for yet another Swords Dance. Now, that was my fault. I should have just tried to go and just try to get some damage off. I have a ton of attack, especially because of huge power. The greed was real on my part. So Scott actually goes ahead for another foul play, and my attack is just so high that I get obliterated. And that was totally took me by surprise. I was not ready for that. But I actually go ahead and switch into my Assault Vest Scrafty Ramon and take this foul play really well. It does almost nothing. And I just go for the knockoff to just get the item off of this Mandibuzz. So he actually doesn't have any kind of Brave Bird or anything like that, I'm assuming, because he switches out. Actually switches in Stormy, the Thunderous again, but since I am Assault Vest, I'm not really afraid. I go for Ice Punch here because I just wanted to get some damage off on that Mana Buzz, but the switch into Thunderous actually helps me, so that's unfortunate for him, but he hits me with a Focus Blast, and it does a lot, but again, I am Assault Vest Scrafty, so I do lose a lot, but I also, I don't die. So I hit him with another Ice Punch and just get this Thunderous out of here, so that is two really big threats just out of the way for my Milotic Miles. So hopefully I'll be able to use that later on in the battle and do a little bit more stalling and stuff like that. So I just stay in against this Azumarill just because I don't really care. Scrafty has done his job as far as I'm concerned. So Azumarill just takes out my Scrafty. I'm totally cool with it. Sorry, Ramon, but I just needed a little bit of fodder at that point. So right here, I go ahead and send out Ambipom and use Fake Out. Also because Azumarill has that defense drop from that superpower, and it actually eats its berry here and gets a decent amount of health back. But I actually use Aerial Ace right here because I have Aerial Ace for fighting types, but I just want to see how much it would do, and it actually does a ton. Especially, like I said, because of the defense drop, but I was actually pretty happy about that. I wasn't expecting it to kill. So Ambipom loses a little bit more health because of that Life Orb damage, and then Scott sends out his Volcarona, aka Lava Flow, and I hit it again with an Aerial Ace just because I want to get damage off on it, and it comes down to its Focus Sash. I never see Focus Sash on Volcarona, so that took me by surprise. And he actually goes for a Quiver Dance, obviously because he didn't fear dying in one shot. So right now I know that Scott is faster than me, that this Volcarona can definitely outspeed me and do a lot of damage. So I go ahead and go back out to Corvo because it is my specially invested wall. But Scott goes for a Fiery Dance here with Volcarona, and it does more than I was comfortable with. I know it was after a Quiver Dance, but it did even more than I could have expected. And again, he just goes for another Fiery Dance next turn. I can't get anything off, unfortunately. And it just kills me. So that was a misplay on my part, but at the same time, Volcarona just took me by surprise with that Focus Sash. So keep that in mind whenever you're battling people. Don't assume that you know what an item is. So I go ahead and switch out Ambipom just so I can scare him out with the Fake Out. But I do go for the Fake Out here to just try to get some damage off. I tried to kill Volcarona with it, but that did not work out for me. So I go ahead and just do it on this Mana Buzz. It does a decent amount of damage. And I just go for the U-turn here just to get a little bit more off because of the dark typing. So I'm not really sure what to switch into the Mana Buzz. I just go ahead and just switch out Miles just to hit with some Ice Beams and stuff like that. It just hits me with a Foul Play real quick. And it doesn't do that much damage to me at all. And right now I'm just thinking, here's the part of the battle where we stall each other a lot. And as you can see, I hit him with the Ice Beam. Just praying for a freeze against this Mana Buzz. And also a crit and just everything else. But it goes for a Roost, and I'm thinking, here we go. Now it's time for a half-an-hour battle against Milotic and this Mana Buzz. But it actually is a lot more physical here. I go for an Ice Beam, and Scott actually keeps going for foul plays, which I thought was really interesting versus him just going for Roost. But I'm assuming it's because he didn't have any kind of moves like Toxic or anything like that he could stall me out with. So we were both just like trying to kill each other here relentlessly. Big Sea Snake versus Flying Dark Vulture thing. So I just go for another Ice Beam, and then Scott goes for yet another foul play. And again, it doesn't do that much. So I just go ahead and just go for an Ice Beam because I am just trying to get this thing out of here. I know I can outspeed. So I get this Mana Buzz out of here, and that is a dead Mana Buzz. Thank goodness. That was the probably biggest threat I was afraid of. And the crit. I got the crit with the health remaining, so the crit mattered there, definitely. So yeah, that is a dead Mana Buzz. So as far as I'm aware, I can pretty much do whatever against this team because this Milotic is he only has physical threats left as far as I'm aware. It sends out the Dragonite and goes for the Dragon Dance, but I can just go ahead and stall because I am max physically defensive. I just go for a recovery here because I knew he was going to try to boost up, get all my health back, and I actually predicted him to get a little greedy and go for another Dragon Dance. So I just go ahead and I use Haze. I have Haze, which just resets all stat changes. and gets rid of that. So I am not having any of that strong Dragonite around here. Scott actually just goes for another Dragon Dance though and just tries to set up a little bit more. And I go for an Ice Beam, or no, I'm sorry, I go for a Scald and try to get the burn. I'm just like thinking to myself, it'd be really neat if this would get a burn. That would be swell. And here you go, there's the burn. So I was really happy about that. That was really lucky. I've been getting lucky a lot in this battle. Scott's been playing really well, but the luck is real at this end. So he actually goes ahead and goes for Outrage. It does a decent amount, but I just go for Ice Beam. And it's quite effective, so Dragonite is out of here. So that was a pretty solid play with Melodic. Melodic's just been claiming some lives in this battle. I've been really happy to use it as much as I could. So the last poke that Scott has is actually Lava Flow, aka Volcarona. And he actually tries to go for the Hurricane here, but it actually misses. So that's yet again unfortunate. But I just go for a Scald and I kill this Volcarona. That was a really fun battle. Thank you so much, Scott, and thank you everyone so much for watching. I had a lot of fun. I got lucky a lot, but also we both played very well. We both played very physically, tried to take each other's threats out as fast as possible. So thank you everyone for watching, and be sure to check out our stream. We have a lot more battles just like this one. Hopefully every day we'll start streaming and having content just like this and even more. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching. This is Admin Shane signing off for Rocket HQ.